The first line of the program is the tkinter library, which is a standard GUI toolkit for Python and imports the messagebox module from tkinter to display message boxes. This defines a class named ToDoListApp that represents the to-do list application. The init method is the constructor of the class which initializes the application window and sets it to the to-do list app. Self-task is a list to store the task entered by the user. Self-create widgets is called to create the GUI elements. Create widgets method creates all the GUI elements. Self-task entry is the entry field for entering task. Self-add button is the button to add task. Self-task list box is the list box to display task. Self-complete button is the button to mark task as title. Self-delete button is the button to delete task. The command parameter of the button specifies the function to be called when the button is clicked. Self-refresh task is called to initially populate the task list box. Refresh task methods updates the task list box with the current task. It clears the existing task from the list box. It then iterates through the self-task list and inserts each task into the list box. Add task method adds a new task to the list. It gets the task text from the task entry field. If the task is not empty, it appends it to the self-task list, refreshes the task list box, and clears the task entry field. If the task is empty, it displays a warning message using message box. Mark completed method marks the selected task as completed. It gets the index of the selected task in the list box. If the task is selected, it appends completed to the selected task and refreshes the task list box. If no task is selected, it displays a warning message. Delete task methods deletes the selected task. It gets the window of index of the selected task in the list box. If a task is selected, it deletes the task from the self-task list and refreshes the task list box. If no task is selected, it displays a warning message. This block of code checks if the script is being run directly. If it is, it creates a Tinker root window, creates an instance of to-do list app, passing the root window and starts the tkinter event loop with root main loop, which keeps the application running until the user closes the window.